How should we start? Why do we do a little introduction where we do a pause on each chord and kind of just play around a bit?
We could do that for Rakesh, so we could play the chord,
that would be nice.
Rakesh could play.
So we'll hold each chord with a pause, and you can improvise around each chord, and then we've done 8 of those, then we'll go into a little rhythm. Yeah. Between us, we're trying to explore what is the common ground between European classical music and Indian classical music, and we're trying to create a fusion of those 2 classical musics that is greater than the sum of its parts. And that's really key to our endeavour, that we're trying to do something that doesn't sort of cancel out the strengths of both of those traditions, but to really build on the strengths.
This will be an opportunity to learn a completely different sound world. The rag has got to seem very free, but actually it abides by a pretty strict set of rules. The scale going up has to be different from the scale coming down. And so you have to be very careful about the direction that your playing takes. But at the same time, the idea is for it to sound free and effortless and almost spiritual. So it's got to have another level to it. But I think this will be testing the improvisation, extemporization side of things. And so yeah, it'll be challenging and exciting in that way.
Indian classical music has a sophistication. Well, I suppose all classical musics have that kind of sophistication, but there's something about the combination of the improvising and the sophisticated tradition that really draws me. We tend to think, a lot of musicians I think in the West think of improvising as kind of letting it all hang out, that sort of thing, and it's so far from that. The way they improvise is so deeply informed by technique. I also love it because it's incredibly exciting. The basic form of most ragas is they start very slowly, then they get a bit faster, then the tabla, the beat or the percussion, whatever it is, comes in, and it gets faster and faster until the end. It's a bit like a Greek dance or something. It just really, it gets the blood stirred. It's fantastic. The skill level of those musicians is something that I've just never come across. It's so totally incomprehensible to me what they do, how they do it. I literally watch with my mouth open because I can't quite believe what I'm hearing.
I'd really like to share what one of the people whom I interacted with said, that we're all like a huge tree. The leaves are different, but the roots are the same. So that's what he said, and I really think it's true. It's 12 notes and all different colors, and the willingness to share, willingness to enhance each other's perspective, and willingness to learn. I think it's been a very, very moving experience for me.
I've heard classical Indian music over my life and been fascinated by it and wanted to delve into it more deeply, but I've never really had the time, frankly. So this was just an amazing opportunity to open my eyes and my ears to the music of a different culture, and a great way to do it. What can be better than to go to the heart of India itself and learn there?
So it's basically the scale goes as ta. So you got to maintain this mood always. Ta. So you do a D all the time usually. Ta.
And so going up, there's no third.
Yeah.
On the way up. So.
Yeah. So yeah. So if I do. No, it doesn't work in the rag. For the rag. So you stop there. So it's like I'm almost going back. But if I have to go ahead.
Such a happy sounding.
one of the strengths of the sort of, let's call it the European classical music tradition, even though it's kind of worldwide now, but one of the strengths of that is about our ability to listen and play chamber music with each other. It's very much an ensemble tradition. Indian classical music is not such a tradition of ensemble playing, but it has the element of improvisation. And improvisation for me is the huge gaping hole in European classical music. We used to have improvisation. It was at the heart of our tradition. So your Bachs, Mozarts, Beethovens, they were all monster improvisers. They were famed for their improvising abilities. And it was unthinkable in those days that a musician would play an instrument but not improvise. But bit by bit, that tradition has left us, which is a real tragedy. So the 20th century in classical music was a century without improvisation. And the Indian classical musicians have that in abundance. It's, along with jazz, it's one of the two great improvising traditions in the world. So I'm hoping that that improvisational genius can kind of flow a little bit towards the European side, and that amazing talent and tradition for ensemble playing can flow a bit towards the Indian side, and that they can really help each other. That's part of the plan.
Very simple. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, we divided it into triplets. Like so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Honestly speaking, today, the first day, I came like an open slate, not knowing what to expect. And to be very honest, I learned that there are some incredible fine musicians, and for me to be able to sit down with them and for them to hear one line of music and the way they are taking that line of music and exploring through their instrument and their ideas, I wish I could do that. So somehow it's going to be a great learning experience. I'm really looking forward to this.
I think it is success already, the fact that musicians from both systems are willing to share and learn. I think that is the success. And there is no end product called success. I think the journey itself is success.
I hope at the end of this I'll be able to understand what Indian classical music means to those Indian performers and what they're trying to express with it. And if I get that, then I think this is where our two cultures hopefully can meet.
If you're really playing from the heart, again, it doesn't matter what genre it is, it doesn't matter if people, understand. Who understands music anyway? It's such a mystery. So but if you play from the heart, then you're feeling you're in that kind of heart space with the music, and people will connect with it. I believe that's just automatic. I think that's just the way it goes.
Fantastic.